guys, this is AruvaChan, and I have been thinking a lot about some of your guys' comments and stuff, and I just want to let you know that when you say you have bad friends, I totally get it, and I totally understand, and it's understandable not wanting to leave those friends. Because after I left my best friend, like I told her I didn't want to be friends with her anymore, I was pretty much all alone. And I was alone for, a little while. But I made newer friends. Like I had hung out with friends with her. And I actually kind of clicked with some of those people. And I really thought that they liked me better than she did, and kind of the way she treated me versus the way they treated me was so different. And a lot of the time I would get like comments like, I don't know why you put up with that, or I don't know why you just let her do this, or why this or this, and I would just kind of like shrug because she was my best friend. So when I left, I did it because I needed to, because it got to the point where I didn't even want to hang out with her anymore, and I didn't even like her anymore. And like, she was super fun to be around when she was having a good day, but when she had bad days, it was really bad. And it really did get to a point where I was just like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. This is draining. I don't want to be your mom. I don't want to, have to take care of you. And I don't like you lying to me. And there was just so many things that I couldn't get over. So I said, enough. Enough is enough. And I cut everything. And the first year that I wasn't friends with her, I felt bad. I felt bad, and I felt lonely, and I felt sad. And I honestly tried to rekindle our friendship after about a year, and I wanted us to be better. I wanted us to still, be friends, because I didn't want it to be awkward. Like, I was so good not being her friend because there was so much less stress in my life. And I tried to rekindle our friendship, which was a bad idea because immediately she lied to me. And she lied about my current friends that I had currently. And I just kind of, I remember I went to her house because I was like, we need to talk. And she was like, fine. So I went up into her room, and I have this nervous kind of, not a disability, but I have this nervous kind of thing about me that I want to apologize for everything. And I'm sure a ton of other people are like this too, because I definitely know I'm not the only one who's nervous, and like, I want things to be good. So I apologized to her, and like, the first words out of her mouth were, well, that's tough. So I was like, okay, like, I don't know where that's going, but I don't really want to be friends with you. I just wanted it to be good because I had to go on a trip with her, and I was like, I don't want us to be weird. So I like made up with her, and she was really happy. Like, really happy, because I was one of her only friends. And the entire trip, she ignored me. She completely ignored me. She hung out with her siblings, and she did this, she did that. And when the trip was over, I gave her my umbrella to like share, because I'm like that. I'm nice. I like to share. I like to, do things for other people. And she took my umbrella and used it herself. And then she used it to keep her phone dry on a seat that was empty. And I remember taking it back at the end of the day, like, why did you take my umbrella? Why did I give my umbrella to you? Like, I wanted to share it. Like, it's like a cute gesture. Like, we can share my umbrella. Like, haha, that's nice, right? No. She took it, and she used it the entire day. Like, it was raining, and I didn't have an umbrella then, which, I'm not doing that again. But she asked me if we would hang out, and I said sure, and my friends called, and they said, why hasn't she talked to us? Like, is there a reason why she hasn't talked to us? And I told them what she had said, which was a lie, and they had told me, like, that's not true. She's lying to you, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember one of my friends, he said, I wasn't sure if you were going to believe us because my friend is known for lying. Everybody knows she lies about everything. And he said, I wasn't sure you were going to believe us. And I said, I have no reason not to believe you. Like, why would you lie to me? I've been your friend for, a year now. Why would you be lying to me? And I understand all of my feelings. Like, I remember for the first entire year, I was mad. Like, I was really mad. Every time I would talk to my friends about her, I felt bad because I literally would unload, like, a bunch of stuff onto them. Like, I don't know how to, deal with this emotion right now because I'm thinking about what she did and, like, this thing that I just remembered. And every time I would say something, one of my friends, he would go, ugh, like, really, that happened? And I'd be like, yeah, like, I didn't think anything of it at the time. But it literally, like, my entire friendship with her was like that. It literally drug on to the point where I didn't know what normal friends did. It was just me and her. Like, maybe, a normal friend would say, here, have the bigger piece of pizza, but I would always be the one doing that, and I'd always give her, the nicer thing, and she would just take it because that's what she deserved, right? She deserved the nicer piece, or she wouldn't even think about it. She'd just be like, hey, thanks, and she'd take it. But, like, I'm trying to do something nice, and I'm trying to do something for her, and it never got reciprocated, and, like, things like this always came up. And this is going to be probably year 3 without her, year 3 or 4, and, like, there are still echoes of, like, things she has done or things she has said to me that it still affects me. Like, I still think about these kind of things, and I don't want to give any details because kind of, personal, and if she ever watches this, she's probably going to be mad if I say anything, but I don't want to give any details, and I still want to respect her boundaries because she's still a person, even though I'm not friends with her anymore. But I know if this was, I don't know, the other way around, it probably wouldn't be the same. I don't know, maybe it would be. If you're listening to this, I'm not going to say anything, but you probably don't know any of the stuff that you did. Like, you don't know that anything is wrong. And that's the thing that kills me, is she never stopped and thought, like, maybe this isn't a good thing. Like, maybe this isn't the right thing. Or nobody told her, like, hey, you're not supposed to act this way, or, this is kind of bratty. Like, nobody would ever tell her anything. And I have the same problem. Like, I need to kind of be told when I'm doing things wrong, but I will immediately try to fix it because I'm tired of having people just walk away and get mad and, all of this stuff. Like, I'll try, but it always felt like she didn't, and she always did what she wanted. Like, no matter what anybody else said, she always did what she wanted, and she didn't need to be, convinced anything of anything. Like, if she really wanted to do something, she would. And that was the biggest thing that it made me irritated. And she would lie to me about it. Like, she would lie to me about tons of different stuff, like where she was, and she would then come over to my house and, hide out at my house for the day. And, like, she would have told her mom, like, she would come in at, like, 2 or 3 in the morning. And she would have told her mom that she was at my house the entire time. Like, I'm such a goody two-shoes. I don't like lying, and I don't like that kind of stuff. Like, I don't mind, if you come over to my house to escape your parents or whatever, but don't use me as an excuse to get away. Like, I know you're not at my house. Like, what am I going to say if your mom calls? Or, like, things like that. It's just, I don't know. We had been friends pretty much my entire life, like definitely her entire life, but pretty much my entire life. And I feel like she should have known at that point that that wasn't okay. But I also, I didn't tell her anything. And this is part of the thing. I feel like guilty for not ever talking to her. And it's like, this is one of the waves that I feel like. I feel guilty for not talking to her, but at the same time, I don't feel guilty because I don't want to be her friend anymore. Like, I've gotten over the point of wanting to be her friend, and I'm just mad about all of the stuff that I had to deal with. And I still think about it every once in a while. Like, I remember when I first broke it off, I thought about it almost every day. Like, when a best friend is, hang out with you, they usually talk to you or message you every single day, but I suddenly had nothing. And I continued to think, like, oh, this is probably what she's doing right now. And, she's probably talking to this person and this person and this person. And for the longest time, her and my friends, like, we had pretty much the same friends. Her and my friends would go out and they would hang out together and I wouldn't get invited. And I remember thinking, like, oh, this sucks. Like, if we were still friends, I'd still be able to hang out and with everybody. But at the same time, I don't think I would have enjoyed it. Like, as much as I liked her and as, fun as she was, it literally was a bad friendship. And it was good that I told her that I was done. And I think I'm at a point in my life, I've grown a lot. I don't know if I'd be completely okay to take her back into my life, but I think if she did come back, I wouldn't have such a problem with it. Like, it wouldn't affect me as much because I have new friends. I have a new best friend, and, I've got a different support system than I ever did when I was, younger. And I literally just, like, I would let her walk all over me, and I don't think that's the kind of person I am anymore. And, well, at least I hope it's not. I don't think I'm that person, and I don't think I'd put up with that anymore. And if you personally know me, you probably know that too. Like, I don't put up with anything anymore. I don't put up with anyone's, drama or any of that stuff. Like, I'll have my own drama going on, but, like, if somebody wants to pull me into their drama, I'm like, you gotta figure it out. Like, I'll be here. I'll watch your drama, and I'll, like, help you if you want me to help, but, like, I ain't coming in and being part of your drama. Like, it's just, it's draining. And I feel like that was the entirety of our friendship. Like, she would tell me about this drama thing, and I'd be like, oh no, like, wow, like, that sucks. And then I'd feel bad, and then I wouldn't like whatever person she would, talk about. And then I would literally meet them and not like them. And they'd be like, I don't know why she doesn't like me. And she'd be like, I don't know why she doesn't like you either. Like, you cannot drag me into your drama and expect me to like the person, you're mad about. Like, it doesn't work that way. And I don't know why I'm continuing to ramble about this, but that was just another one of the things that she did, and I don't deal with that anymore. Like, I'm still, semi-nice about that kind of stuff. Like, I'll listen to it for a little while, and then I'll just be like, look, I really don't care right now. I've got my own stuff that I'm dealing with, and I need you to kind of just, work it out on your own. Like, I'm not nice about that kind of stuff anymore. And it could be because I've literally had friends who use me as an emotional crutch, and it could be because of her. But I just don't. I talk to more people now, and I feel like I know how to deal with certain situations, and I will, I'll put my 2 cents out there, and if you don't listen to me, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to give you any more advice, and I'm not going to help you anymore. Like, if you have another problem, I'll give you my 2 cents on that. But it's the same kind of mentality. Like, if you don't want to take my advice, and if you don't want to listen to me, I'm not going to help you anymore. Like, I'll talk to you, and I'll still kind of, be friendly with you. But, like, if you don't take my advice, my seriousness for you goes down. Like, I don't know. I get that way with art too. Like, it's easy to give advice, though. It is easy to give advice. And it's hard to take advice, but I don't know. It was just another thing, like, that always bothered me. Like, she would talk to me, but she would never listen. She just wanted to talk. And that's fine if you have people who want to listen, but it got to the point where I wanted to talk. And I wanted, to be my own person. And she would get upset that I would do my own things and that I would be kind of myself. And, like, she didn't want me hanging out with different people, and she didn't want me to have other friends, and she told me she didn't care, but I definitely knew she did, because she didn't live where we live. She didn't live here at all, and she got upset that we all were hanging out without her. Like, she lives 3 hours away from here, and she said, "You could call me." Like, why would we call you? You don't live here. She'd be like, "Well, I could drive down." Like, well, sure, but we probably would only invite you if you were down here. Like, that's the kind of stuff that nobody in our group understood. Like, you can't get mad if you don't live here. Like, we literally can't invite you to go down the street to do something if you don't live here. Like, you're not going to drive 3 hours to go to the pizza shop down the street from us. Like, we're not waiting 3 hours for you to get here. If we're hungry now, we're gonna go eat now. Like, that's the kind of stuff. Like, at the very end, it was just like all of that and more craziness happened. And, like, once it got cut out of my life, I was free, basically. I felt free. I didn't have somebody weighing me down anymore, and I got, I'm still shy currently, but I feel like I got more social. Like, I was invited more places that I could just go because I didn't have somebody holding me down or, waiting around for somebody. And I didn't feel like I was in somebody's shadow anymore. Like, that was a huge thing for me. I was her sidekick. And, like, I was so okay with that, which I shouldn't have been, because it literally stunted my social growth. I literally stayed in her shadow pretty much my entire time that I was her friend. And I remember my friends now, one of my friends now, he said, when he first met me, he thought I was, like, weird and quiet because I never talked, because I would just talk to her. And I was like, oh, well, that's great. Like, I was the weird one, and I'm still the weird one. I am cool with that. I'm still the weird one, but, like, I'm weird and I talk to people now. Like, I go out to, people's parties, and I talk to them, and I play games with them, and, I'm slowly getting better at socialization because I have the chance now. And I've talked about this a lot to some of my friends, but I sat at home pretty much, and I did the thing with Patrick where SpongeBob asks what he does when he's not there, and Patrick says, "I wait for you to get back." Like, I basically did that with her. Like, she would go and she would hang out with somebody else, and I would sit at home waiting for her to come back, because she would always come back. And I just lived like that for however long. And I'd still fall into that kind of I'm here mentality, but I also like being at home. Like, I'm very much a homebody. That, and there's not much to do here, but when people invite me to go do stuff, I'm like, sure. But, like, for a really, really long time, nobody invited me because I never went out. And my cousin always said, oh, it's because she doesn't like to. Like, I didn't like going out, which was kind of true. Like, I didn't know anybody. That's why I didn't like going out. And, like, my current best friend takes me places, and he's like, all right, we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna go over here. You have to stay here. So I'd be like, all right, like, I'll just be over here. And, like, I'd strike up a conversation with somebody. Or I went to his brother's cabin with a whole bunch of people, and he wasn't even there. Like, I went somewhere without him, and, like, he showed up later. Like, it's incredible the kind of, length that I've gone, and I definitely think I wouldn't be here if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't said goodbye. Like, I needed to distance myself just so I could get better and become better and, just be who I'm trying to be, like, be more who I want to be. And that's such a huge thing for me. I want to be better. I want to be somebody cooler and more outgoing, and that's one of the reasons I started doing YouTube, is because I really want to be the very best at everything, and that includes socialization. Like, I want to be, the person that people want to talk to, and I want to be that social person, and I definitely think I make friends who are the people who are very social, because that's kind of person I want to be. And it's just very uplifting to see how I've changed. And I saw one of her siblings a year or two ago, and when he saw me, he said, "Oh my gosh, Sarah, you look so good right now." And I was like, psh, Pisha. But he's like, "No, I'm serious." He's like, "You look really good. You look happy." And I'm like, I am happy. I'm really happy right now. I'm living in such a good time, because I've got so much support and so little stress. So I feel like I can grow, and I'm becoming who I want to be. That's my biggest thing, is I'm becoming who I want to be in life. And none of this would have happened if I hadn't just said no, or hadn't have said I was done. And it was hard. It was really hard. I cried and I got upset, and I still, sometimes I'm like, well, I wish she was here, because she used to be really fun, but she's not that person anymore, and I'm not that person anymore. Oops, my kalimba just fell off the desk. I needed this. I needed this to start. And it's I used to be asleep all the time. I used to be asleep. Even when I was awake, I was asleep. And I was unhappy, and I would daydream about having friends, and it was really sad. Even though I had people, I would still daydream that I had better friends. And I've gotten to the point right now where I don't have to anymore, because my real life is starting to become something I'm actually happy with. And all of this stuff wouldn't have been possible if I just had kept doing what I was doing. And this was the first step for me. This is what I needed, and I'm so glad that I did it. There really isn't a moment where I wish that I would, wouldn't have done this, because I did need this. This is the best decision that I could have made for myself. And I have had people say, you're so much more outgoing now, and I actually had somebody say, you're starting to bloom a little bit, which it makes you feel really good. All of this stuff is actually working. I'm actually doing good stuff for myself, and it makes you feel so good. It makes you feel really good, So if you ever have a friend who you really you're so attached to them, but they're not good for you, I suggest doing what your heart says is right. And I know that's such a corny thing to say, but I'm serious. If you don't like this person and they're such a huge part of your life, consider leaving. If you're in an abusive relationship, you really love, your significant other, but they aren't good to you, leave them. You can survive after leaving them. And a lot of the people who have these friends, they don't think that, because it's hard to make friends. And, the people who they're with say, they can't make any friends because they're weird or unlovable, and it hurts. It really does. And you start to believe it after a while, but it's not true. It's not. You are a genuine person, you are your own person, and you control everything about you. They don't control anything about you, and they don't get to decide who you are. And that's my biggest advice, I suppose. Alright guys, thank you so much for listening to me rant and ramble. If you guys had an experience like this, or if you left someone recently, like you dropped someone out of your life, you snipped them right out, please let me know, because I'm always interested in hearing your guys' stories. If you had something almost exactly like this, also please tell me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps share them and, kind of gets other people a little bit of info about me. If you like me, if you like my stories, feel free to subscribe. I put out a new video every Friday, and I'm actually going to try to do more videos weekly. So I want to do, maybe 2 videos a week. And if you guys want to be part of my notification squad, please ring the bell down there. We're all super chill. And I don't know, I'll give you a piece of candy if I ever meet you. Why not? All you gotta say is notification squad and I'll give you a piece of candy. Or I'll buy you a piece of candy. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. Alright guys, thank you so much. Bye!